Hello and welcome to Music for the Macabre. We are your hosts. I'm Eva Lynn and this is Kerry and we are the Dread Dolls.
Tonight we have the great pleasure of interviewing a man who loves horror almost as much as we do, Kito Vallim. He's the vocalist of a band called Final Disaster and the host of an online horror festival called Horror Fest and Freakshow that we've actually had the great pleasure of taking part in as Splinter Taylor.
Thanks so much for joining us tonight, Kito. We are super excited to have you on the show.
Hello everyone, I'm Kito Vallim from Final Disaster, all the way from Brazil. I'm really excited to be here on Music for the Macabre. I'd like to thank Evelyn and Kerry for the opportunity. It's truly an honor.
So let's start by talking a little bit about your band Final Disaster, Kito. It's clear by listening to your music and by watching your videos that horror movies have had a big influence on you creatively. How would you describe your sound to horror fans out there who maybe haven't heard your music before?
So, we basically try to translate what we feel when watching horror movies or reading horror stories or whatever. We try to take that feeling we have of anguish, fear, or whatever, and try to translate that into the songs. So we take lyrics about those feelings and those stories and mix that with heavy riffs, groovy drum and bass, and we make our style of metal playing horror metal. So, and we have melodic and vocals and scream vocals, but we're not a melodic death metal band or anything. We're basically horror metal, yeah.
Are the other band members as big on horror as you are?
Well, to be honest, not everyone in the band are horror fans. The whole horror theme started with me back in 2013. I was actually writing what I wanted the band to be, and I decided I wanted to make a horror metal band, and I would like to talk about horror movies and horror games and books and series, and I wanted to talk about horror. And I started calling my friends who wanted to create a band as well, and I was like, okay, so this is what we're gonna do. Do you agree? Don't you agree? Some people said no, some people wanted to be in, but not as fans. So not everyone writes lyrics for the band. So, but we try to stay focused on what the lyrics are saying, the theme of the lyrics. Oh, fucking mosquito. And to create the music. So, not everyone are horror metal fans, but we try to stay true to the band's main theme.
So Final Disaster have just dropped a new video for your song Blood Red Creation, and we have to say we're really impressed by the quality of it. It's so professionally filmed, and of course we love the slasher theme, obviously. Can you tell us a little bit about the story that the video tells and how the band came up with that?
Thanks for the words, the compliments. It's really nice to actually hear those things, and it's really important to us. Blood Red Creation's video, the song, the music Blood Red Creation will be featured in our next album called Halls of Despair. It's gonna be our debut album, and it's a concept album. So we tell a story about this serial killer called Mr. Joe, and eventually he starts to be haunted by the ghosts of his victims, and Blood Red Creation tells a little bit of that part of the story. So basically most of what happens in the video happens in his mind. He got injured and he's contemplating actually his own blood. So because he kills people, because he's kind of, I wouldn't say addicted to it, but he kills people to draw their blood. Not like a vampire or anything, but it's like his thing. So when he gets injured and he sees his own blood, he starts contemplating that like it's his blood red creation. It's just like killing someone else. So it's a little twisted because he's a twisted guy, and it was a real challenge to make a video about what's going on inside a killer's mind, especially with low budget, you know. Everything was basically do-it-yourself. So we had a lot of work to fill the bath with fake blood and stuff. Or was it fake? Just kidding. But I'm really glad with the final result. I really like this video, and I think the song fits really well. Also, the song is it's a reference for a first-person shooter from the 90s called Blood, so we needed a lot of blood.
Flowing from my veins inside my hollow grave, laying in the floor, I may live once more. Illusion or reality, their blood, my blood, the perfect alchemy. Their blood, my blood, we're all the same, and even my own pain is now part of my master
Okay, we know how difficult it can be getting new content out there in the middle of this plague, the pandemic, particularly a music video. Did you have any obstacles you had to overcome in filming? Like, would you say that it affected the choices you made about how the video would be filmed or the overall narrative, the story?
Actually, we didn't have to make any changes in the concept of the video. Just one guy in the bathtub, lots of blood, scenes happening around that, but just one guy basically all the time. We did have to choose to make this video with a smaller crew. You know, we are a 6-piece band, plus when we record those videos we work with 3 or 4 extra pair of hands. So we had to reduce the crew. It was, I think, 4 or 5 people working, me included, in the bathtub, freezing to death. But besides that, I think we didn't have to make any change. We did have to choose to record this video before we wanted, because we wanted to release another video before that. We had to anticipate Blood Red Creation. We wanted to release another video before, but with the pandemics it would be impossible. So we are trying to figure out another way to make that video. We want to release in the chronological order. We released videos in 2020, last year, but and Blood Red Creation wasn't meant to be born right now. And I think in the end it was a good call. We are receiving a lot of great feedback from the video. We had to make this change because of the pandemics, but it was...
So your music video is out there now. What's next for Final Disaster?
Right now we are spreading the word about Blood Red Creation, so if you're watching this right now and you didn't see our new video, go to our YouTube channel and watch that. I promise you're gonna like. If you don't like it, you just press thumbs down and write anything that will make me offended. I won't answer you and I'll just take it gladly, because I promised you something and I let you know. But we are actually in the final stages of our new album, just finishing a few details to put Halls of Despair out there for everyone. And we are actually right now preparing another video from a song called Creatures from the Underground. And I think that's basically that for now. I can't get into a lot of spoilers, just I already said the name of our next single, and I guess I shouldn't. But well, whatever. Creatures from the Underground is gonna be our next single. We are preparing the video, and we are in the final touches from Halls of Despair. So it's basically that, and a lot going on between that. I can't say right now.
So let's talk a little bit about you now. You obviously hosted Horror Fest and Freakshow, an online horror festival which had other horror themed bands from around the globe. It had some short films, and a whole host of other horror-related art.
Yeah.
We were obviously in one of the bands that were invited to play, and it came at a time when, like most musicians, we were really struggling with not being able to reach our fans or to play to a live audience. It's been really hard to not have any gigs. How important do you think it is for bands to support each other right now when music is under such a threat from the pandemic?
I really don't know how to express myself about it. I have no English vocabulary to express how important I think it is for bands to support each other. It's the best way to achieve things, to make things happen, you know. Like Horror Fest and Freakshow, I started actually scavenging around the internet for horror metal bands that I didn't know that, and start making contact with those bands to see who would join me in this. It was actually a crazy idea, and in the end it was a really nice festival with those movies you mentioned and the makeup artists, you know, and the drawings, and of course the bands. I had the luck to actually meet you guys from Splintered Halo, and it's an amazing band. It's really an amazing band, and I was really happy. And I think that's the importance, you know. We made this festival, and there was people from all around the world seeing bands from all around the world that they didn't know. And like Splintered Halo, Final Disaster, Slash Sue, KOZ, and many others. And the music for the macabre right now, I'm here talking to you guys, and that's the magic we make when we support each other. You know, I really do believe, and I'm not just saying that, but I really do believe there's space for everyone. There's room for everyone, especially nowadays. So yeah, I think it's really important, and like I said, I can't express myself. I don't know the words to express how important I think it is. But I will keep supporting the bands I like. I will keep supporting the bands I know. I will keep supporting bands I'm gonna know in the future. I keep digging for bands and looking for new bands, especially when they are horror themed, because I'm a horror fan. I'm a diehard fan, and I really like when I see new horror metal bands. And yeah, that's basically that. I can just keep walking in circles because I have a really poor English. I'm sorry, but that's the point. When bands support each other, the music has no frontiers, has no boundaries, has no language, and there's room for everyone because the world is really big. And if we support each other's, we're gonna make a bigger earthquake, you know.
The horror genre clearly has had a big influence on you creatively, so tell us, what's your favourite horror movie and why?
It's kind of difficult to name just one movie, but when people ask me that, I always give the same answer. I don't know if, actually, I don't think it's my favorite, but was the game changing for my life in that area. It was The Night of the Living Dead. You know, I saw that when I was a kid, and I was just terrified. For like 2 months, I was terrified of zombies, of the living dead, and yeah, it traumatized me, and I think it made me the way I am. And I love this movie. I'm not scared of the movie anymore, but I love this movie, and it made a big impact on my life. So if I had to choose one movie to answer that, it would be Night of the Living Dead.
Okay, so Night of the Living Dead is your favourite horror movie, but who's your favourite horror movie character?
My favorite horror character is actually a Brazilian character. And I don't know how many of you who are watching know him, but you should. So Google it right after this video ends. wait for the end. Then you go Google it, because it's really awesome. It's really nice. It's a character from the 60s. He has like 9 or 10 movies. I don't know right now. And all played by the same actor and director, is his creator actually, José Mojica Marins. He's actually called by most people by his character name and not his real name. And he was the first director, the first horror director from Brazil. And Coffin Joe's movies were the first Brazilian horror movies in history. So he made 2 movies in the 60s. That's At Midnight I'll Take Your Soul. And I think the English name of the second one is Tonight I'm Gonna Possess Your Body, or Your Corpse, or something. I actually don't know. But it's really awesome. It's old and black and white and stuff. And his newer movies were actually low budget. But I really think that he has this uniqueness on his movies, and the way he dresses, all dressed in black. He's a gravedigger, all dressed in black with those, big hat. I don't remember the name of the big hat. And his nails all really long, and he has this atheist kind of satanish way of do things, and in the 60s that was a huge impact on society. So he's basically became folklore right now. He's folkloric, he's iconic, and I really like everything about Coffin Joe. And if you don't know him, go check him out right now. But if you guys want to talk about a character that's more famous, I'm really Pinhead fan. I really like Hellraiser and everything around it. I'm a really a huge fan from Clive Barker too.
You suddenly go crazy and rampage with a huge machete. What song would you choose to have playing in the background as you rampage?
This is by far the best question I have ever heard. This is just amazing. Damn! What song would I choose? That's hard. I think I would go with Late for the Kill and Early for the Slaughter by Soilwork. Yeah, I think that's a good killing spree song. Damn, this question is awesome. That's amazing. Woo.
So what horror movie do you think is the best soundtrack?
Not because of the movie, because the movie it was actually a little bit disappointing when I saw it the first time. It's a good movie, but I had high hopes. But I'm a huge Akira Yamaoka fan, so I have to choose the Silent Hill movie. It's basically the same soundtrack from the games, and it's just beautiful. It's amazing what he does. So, not a huge fan of the movie, but the soundtrack is awesome.
I totally agree. I've got all of the Silent Hill soundtracks and music, and it is phenomenal. Nice. So creepy, and just really so inspiring.
Okay, well, you just mentioned Silent Hill, so do you play video games, and if so, what's your favourite horror game and why?
I do play a lot of video games, and I'm a huge Resident Evil fan, I'm a huge Outlast fan, The Evil Within, and Until Dawn. Dead Space, it's an amazing franchise. But I kind of spoiled the answer, the question actually, I spoiled the question with the previous answer. I love Silent Hill, love the game. I didn't finish all of them, but the first 4 games are just awesome. And that soundtrack is amazing, it sets the mood. and it's the first Silent Hill is the first video game that I was actually scared. Not jump scares and stuff. I was terrified by what was going on there. So yeah, Silent Hill, it's a masterpiece of terror, of horror. Yeah, Silent Hill is awesome.
Oh, that's such a good choice. I love Silent Hill. The bit in the school with the locker where the cat jumps out is terrifying. And we've played the not the remaster, but it obviously get brought back out, the second and the third one, the collection, I think it was. That was pretty good.
That's scary.
It's really scary, but totally agree. First to fourth is definitely the best. Me and my best friend Kim, we were playing the fourth one, and we were totally fine when the room is safe, and then all those monsters start to break in, and it's terrifying. So we to be honest, that's the one that I haven't finished. I finished the rest of them, but I couldn't get past like the safe space being breached. I'm a little bit of a scully, but have you ever had anything spooky happen to you?
I don't know if that counts as spooky, but I was abducted once. And it was around 20 years ago. I was a child coming back from school. My mom was driving the car. It was around 7 p.m. It was already dark, and it was about to rain. No lightning here and there, just a few ones. And we were really close to home, really close, like 2 minutes away from home, really close. It was almost a walking distance already from my house. And I remember looking at the watch. I don't remember actually what time it was, but I was looking at the watch. I was worried about something I had to do in my house, and we were around 2 minutes away from home. All right, so we were driving, getting closer and closer and closer to home. Suddenly, a really, really, really light, clear as day, blinding lightning stroke. I just saw the blind light, and the car turned off, just stopped, and I felt a little dizzy. I looked at my mom. She turned the car on again, and we were okay. And then nothing happened. Whatever, just let's get home before it starts to rain. So we arrived, and when I entered the house, I looked at the watch, and between the moment I saw the time and the moment I arrived home, we were like 2 minutes away. We only had a few seconds delay before, car turning off, turning on. So 3 minutes away from home, and it had passed 15 minutes. So I started Googling it and searching for what could have happened, and I'm really convinced I was abducted. And there's nothing you can say that will convince me otherwise. And maybe I wasn't, but whatever. But I have no logical explanation for what happened, and I do believe I was abducted. It's not a spooky story, but yeah, it's kind of cool.
I'm super interested in this. I read quite a lot. I also watch quite a lot of YouTube and stuff around this. Quite a bit. It's interesting that you've literally said like the two most common themes in alien, UFO, whatever, abductions is a blinding light and a discrepancy in time, like time unaccounted for. Those are the classic, absolute classics symptoms of being abducted. It absolutely sounds like you have. I'm super interested in that. I just want to take over this interview asking you questions about that, but that's not what this is about. But yeah, that's crazy, absolutely crazy.
Obviously I'm not as interested in abductions as you are, being the Scully of the relationship, but it's like, I know it's quite a common thing, because I know Chris Carter obviously showed that. I can't remember what episode it was of the X-Files, but like he literally shows them driving along and they lose time, and Mulder like marks off with the spray paint, like the point where they're starting to experience
because
that.
it's so common, because that is like the common thread throughout all from the 40s till now.
That's super interesting.
It is. Do you have any phobias or maybe just fears? Did you throw that down yourself? Oh, actually,
No.
Oh boy, do I. I'm I'm really afraid of heights and scorpions and rusted barbed wire. I don't know why, but I'm scared of those things. Yeah, no phobias from clowns or spirits or demons, just heights, scorpions, and rusted barbed wire. I think it's creepy.
Okay, so again, you said that your favourite horror movie was Night of the Living Dead, zombie apocalypse. So let's say a killer virus breaks out and it reanimates the dead. What would your strategy be to survive in a zombie apocalypse?
Well, in the event of a zombie apocalypse, I would just stay put. You know, I live in the countryside. I don't live in the big cities here in Brazil, and the place I live, it's surrounded by a fence and further surrounded by a wall. Inside the fenced area, we have solar-based electricity. It's actually just for the showers, but I think in an emergency we could adapt to that. We have a fuel-based generator and we have water. Also, we have enough space to grow crops, grow food if you wanted. So yeah, we'll just stay put. Eventually leaving the house to get supplies, seeds to, you know, grow the crops and get food for before the crops start actually giving us food. But yeah, I'm pretty much safe from a zombie apocalypse. I'm ready. Bring it on!
Thanks so much for coming on the show and chatting with us tonight. Like, we feel like we've probably probed you enough for one night, and it's
Probed?
Yeah.
Like
What?
the aliens?
Yeah, exactly.
Hi.
Okay. It's probably about time we crawled back to our crypts. But before we go, is there anything you want to say to us or our audience?
Much. Thank you, Carrie. Thank you, Evelyn, for the opportunity. From the bottom of my heart, I'm truly honored to be here in Music for the Macabre. I would like to apologize for my bad English. I know I have pronunciations problems. I have an accent and stuff. I hope I was the whole time above subtitle level. We don't have to subtitle what I said. And I hope everyone understood what I said, understood me. I'm sorry about anything. And go check us out. Go check Final Disaster. We are on Spotify, Deezer, Tidal. We are on YouTube Music, YouTube channel. We have Instagram, Facebook. We are everywhere. And go check us out. We just released Blood Red Creation and we are about to release another video for Creatures from the Underground. So we are doing a lot of stuff. We're not making shows, we're not making gigs, we're not playing gigs, actually, playing shows. And but there's a lot of things going on. We are releasing videos. We just released Blood Red Creation. We are about to release the video for Creatures from the Underground. Go check us out. Don't miss anything. Subscribe to our channel. Go watch the video for Blood Red Creation. You don't like it, just go in the comment section and say Kito's a liar. I'm gonna deserve it. Hands down, I'm gonna deserve that. Alright? So check us out. We are everywhere. And show your support here too. Like it. Subscribe to this channel. It's not every day we see something as awesome as Music for the Macabre. So we need to take care of the things people are doing with good quality, you know? We need to take care of each other. And subscribing and liking this video, it's your way to take care of us. You know, we need channels like Music for the Macabre. And support the local bands too. You know, not just because they are local bands, but I'm sure in your town there's good bands, at least one good band there has to be in your town. So support it. It's getting tough to everyone, and the whole music industry is struggling. So local bands are struggling even harder. And thanks for staying to the end of the show. As soon as this chaotic situation that's happening, whatever is going on the planet right now, it's over, we're gonna tour, we're gonna play a lot of gigs as much as we can. We're gonna try to go everywhere in the world we can, and maybe we're getting our chaos into our town. So be ready for the Halls of Despair. I'm Kito Vallim from Final Disaster. Thanks a lot.
Well folks, that was Kito Vallim of Final Disaster. Now remember to check out the video for Blood Red Creation, and you'll find the links to that and other social media in our comments.
If you enjoyed the video tonight, then give us a like, hit the thumbs up, subscribe to the channel, leave us a comment.
Absolutely, we love to read your comments and we will reply to as many as we possibly can. Sleep well.
And sweet dreams.